Good morning. It is Tuesday, September 1st, and welcome to The Advantage, where we will take you through the latest in political ads and spending. My name is Rachel Haskins.
And I'm Ben Tabor. What's going on, guys? So today, in a little bit of a departure of what we normally cover, we wanted to discuss why we spend so much time focusing on the television and digital ad landscape. There's a lot of people out there who would say, why do people pour so many billions of dollars into television ads when nobody watches TV anymore? Well, the fact of the matter is that that's not really true. There are a ton of people out there watching television, and they're already primed to be watching long form messaging, which gives you a really excellent opportunity to put in a TV ad that's going to persuade a voter in 30 seconds or 60 seconds to vote for your candidate and not the other guy, which is kind of the whole basis of campaigning.
Right, on broadcast television, you can't skip an ad the way that you can on YouTube or scroll past an ad the way that you can on Facebook. Candidates have a captive audience with voters who are watching broadcast television. And the other really important thing about broadcast is it allows for targeting voters who will actually be in the booth in November in a way that digital advertising maybe doesn't. You look at Amy McGrath, you look at Beto O'Rourke, and they went viral with some of their advertisements. And what that did was drive fundraising.
Look at the president. The president went viral.
Absolutely. And that drives fundraising, but it drives it from all over the country. So you're helping to build your war chest by going viral, by having really good digital advertisements. But ultimately, the people donating to a campaign in Kentucky from California are not the people who will actually be voting between Amy McGrath and Mitch McConnell. So at the end of the day, a broadcast television ad is where Amy McGrath or Mitch McConnell are going to really be able to speak to the people that they need to vote for them.
And that's not to say that digital doesn't have a really valuable component to a strong media campaign in the ability you have to target people on Facebook. But the problem with Facebook and Google as well is that people aren't going to be watching a 30-second video. Mm-hmm. When I'm scrolling through Facebook, I'm not going to watch a 6-second clip that my mom sent me of a dog playing. I'm certainly not going to watch 30 seconds from Joe Biden or Donald Trump about how they're going to save America. It's just not really what people do on social media. So you might be able to get in front of the voters, but it's hard to serve them the ad that's going to say, hey, I am a strong candidate and I need you to vote for me. TV is really, really valuable in that regard.
And we see that play out in the different types of ads that go up on digital. It's very rare for a candidate to have a 30-second video persuasion ad like they would run on broadcast television. More typically, and we'll look at a few examples of this in a moment, it's things like sign up for our mailing list or buy this piece of merchandise or stand up to our opponent and tell them that you don't stand for their policies. They're short ads aimed at capturing the nanosecond of attention that people are willing to give and recognizing that most internet users are just going to scroll on past when they're finished consuming the material.
That's exactly right. So let's take a look at an ad from Donald Trump that he's been running on TV, and we'll take a couple look at ads he's been running on Facebook as well.
Sure.
Commander-in-Chief. It's more than just a job. Since taking office, President Donald Trump has rebuilt our military, repaired a broken VA, and eliminated Soleimani, al-Baghdadi, ISIS, the world's deadliest terrorists brought to justice. Today, America is safer and stronger than ever, because to President Trump, it's more than just a job. It's a sworn duty to keep America safe.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and
So this is a Donald Trump ad that went up yesterday, I believe, and it is aimed at voters and not just the Trump base. It is aimed at voters who want to feel safe in America, who want to believe in a strong commander-in-chief. It touts his record, and it's really a tried and true persuasion broadcast TV ad.
That's exactly right. I mean, that's aimed at voters, your everyday voter. That's not necessarily a super partisan ad. It's just a strong, I'm a good leader, I'm a strong commander. And, you kind of contrast this, some of the Facebook ads we're going to be showing on screen in a second that are much more targeted at the base. It's, sign my birthday card, buy my coffee mug, request a ballot is something we've been seeing lately as mail-in ballots become increasingly important. So there's really a different track that people are taking on their messaging on Facebook versus television.
So let's look at a few of those. Here's an ad from the president that asks voters to buy some merchandise. Here's an ad from the president that asks voters to sign up for a list. And here's an ad from the president that asks voters to chip in some money to his campaign. And those are all obviously targeted at people who are already supporting the president, are not undecided. Somebody who's voting for Joe Biden is likely not going to be buying a Donald Trump mug, and vice versa.
And that's not to say that Facebook isn't used to persuade voters as well, just that the majority of Facebook spending, about 75% of it, is coming from this direct response, list building and fundraising kind of activity versus broadcast television, which is almost in its entirety 30-second persuasion ads, vote for my candidate and not the other guy.
And the final thing to note when we're talking about broadcast advertising is that it is still an efficient option for candidates to get their message out. We found in a study of CPMs, which is the cost to reach 1,000 voters, that the median CPM on digital on Facebook and Google is about $32. So you have to spend $32 to reach 1,000 potential voters. There are hundreds of local broadcast programs that fall either at or under that price point. There are certainly some that are more expensive than that, but there are still many options for candidates on local broadcast to get their message out to the voters that they need to geographically target the voters that they need to get in the voting booth at a price point that is not going to break their bank. So we've taken you through a typical broadcast persuasion ad. We've taken you through some digital ads that you might have been served before on Facebook or Google, and we've talked about the merits of broadcast television, which, believe it or not, are still many. So we'll be keeping an eye on political ads and spending. We'll be back next week with our usually scheduled programming looking at actual ads and spending of specific races. If you have any questions in the meantime, please feel free to reach out to Ben at the address below, and we will see you next time.
Have a great week, everybody.